Good morning and welcome back to another video. Today's breakfast was a little bit different to the breakfast I've previously been having, and the reason for that is I'm trying to up my calories, and I think I might have mentioned it a few videos ago, but basically because I'm going to be combining strength and endurance, it requires more energy and more fueling, especially if I'm doing 2 sessions a day. And unfortunately, as much as I love my morning smoothies, they just don't cut it. So I thought the perfect substitute would be jam and toast. You got your carbs and it tastes pretty good. So that's the reason why I'm having jam and toast, and fingers crossed I won't be starving when it comes to like 11 o'clock, which I've been doing recently. Anyway, it's time to discuss my absolute favourite topic in the world, and that is low heart rate training. So a few people have asked me recently, how did I determine my target heart rate when it comes to low heart rate training? And I said a few weeks ago that that kind of data is definitely something I don't want to be discussing moving forward. I think it's a personal thing and too many people have an opinion on it. And if you're anything like me, those kind of comments get into my head and I worry about my health, I guess. I just don't think it's something that people should be commenting on when everyone comes from a different background, everyone's going through different things, and heart rate is affected by different things, I guess. And I just don't think it's got anything to do with other people, basically, in the politest way possible. So I'm not going to be discussing what my targets are, but I am going to be discussing how I determine them. And basically, I was introduced to low heart rate training a few months ago because so many people told me to try out math training. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a formula where you get 180 and you manage your age, and then that is your target heart rate. I enjoyed it and I completely understand what the benefits of that are, and obviously it's good because it's so popular. However, I just don't think enough personal data is taken into consideration when you work it out that way, when there's other ways that you can do it. So how did I actually figure out what my target heart rate is when it comes to low heart rate training? And I basically discovered this book, which is packed full of information. So if you're really into running, or you want to learn more about the anatomy of running, or you just kind of want to learn more about it, this book is perfect. And what I'm about to discuss is a formula that I found in here, and I just think it's the best way to do it. So because I hate numbers and they just scare me, I've written it all down on the screen in front of me. So if you see me looking over here, it's because I don't want to get anything wrong, and I'm pretty terrible when it comes to formulas and maths, and I just really hate numbers. So the way that I determine it is basically I get 220 and minus my age, and then that is what gives me my maximum heart rate. However, very similar to math training, I don't think it gives you enough information, or it doesn't collect enough information from you. So what I did is I went outside, found a few hills, sprinted up them, and then that is how I determined my maximum heart rate, because it was more accurate to me and it just didn't do a simple formula. You then have to work out what your heart rate reserve is. So you basically get your maximum heart rate, you minus your resting heart rate, and then that is what gives you your heart rate reserve number. So once you've collected all that data, that's when it becomes a little bit scary if you hate numbers. So what you do is you get your heart rate reserve, you times it by the percentage of intensity of the workout. So for the purposes of this video, your zone 2 kind of percentage is 60 to 70. You then add your resting heart rate, and then that gives you your target heart rate. So basically, if your heart rate reserve is 110, your resting heart rate is 70, and you're doing zone 2 training, which is 70% of your heart rate reserve, you do 110 times 0.70 plus 70, which equals 147. So your target heart rate will be 147 beats per minute. I'll put everything down here. It might make a little bit more sense, and I'll also put everything in the description below, but that is basically what I do. And it kind of sounds confusing, but it's not. If I can do it, anyone can do it. So yeah, that's how I determine my target heart rate. So yeah, the reason why I prefer that is it just takes more into consideration about you as an individual. So it takes your maximum heart rate into consideration, your heart rate reserve, your resting heart rate, and I just think it works better, and it kind of takes more data in terms of how you're currently feeling, how you're recovering, and stuff like that. So for me personally, that formula is the best formula, and I just prefer doing it that way. But that's enough numbers for one day. We're not discussing any more numbers. I hate numbers, I hate maths. Anyway, it's a few days later and I'm a little bit sick of talking about heart rate training. I haven't been running, and there's a lot of kind of reasons for that, which I probably will make an entire video on, but there's no point stressing over things out of your control. If you don't want to do something, don't do it. And if it's not bringing you happiness, then, well, just don't do it. So with the gym now being ready downstairs, I'm about to do my first ever gym session in there with Jack. It's just going to be like a bit of a mess around, kind of getting excited with the new equipment and stuff. So this is, well, let's go to the gym.
This is sick.
What's sick?
Just doing stuff in here.
I told you, this is the first time you've done it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an absolute vibe, I'm not gonna lie. With all this stuff set up as well, like, it's just chilled. You're gonna get so much more done.
Dynamic mobility stretching before we get into kind of squats or whatever we're even doing. There's absolutely no plan in this session, but the stretch that you get in your quads doing this is, it's one of those pains where it's like, it's awful, but it feels amazing and your quads just feel incredible after it. So what I have been doing in terms of like stretching mobility is, I've been static when I'm doing it, but like with a wall behind me, you can just feel it here, and obviously your hip flexors as well. But this is kind of more movement, so it's just a bit of like practicing them and a bit of testing, see what works, what doesn't, so I can tell or show more people to do it. But yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. Cool. First time, oh my god, I'm actually really nervous. I feel like I need to take my hands off.
Just do it, it's fine.
First time actually squatting since before Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah, it will be.
That was pleasantly surprising. I thought I would have lost a lot more strength than that, you know.
I told you you'd be fine with them.
30.
40.
I was 40. Whoa.
Yeah, 40 kg.
Mass. I mean, I actually explained, you've not seen anything that I filmed this morning, but at the beginning of this video I said I hate numbers. That's why. Impressed with that, you know.
Sure.
Very impressed with that. So before the gyms closed, I could squat 70 kilos as my 1 rep max. I was on 90 kilos for my deadlifts, and I was working up to 40 kilos on my bench press. So I feel like there's a long way to go, and there's definitely going to be strength that's lost. But I'm actually pretty impressed with the fact that I haven't done any strength training whatsoever since December, like no body weight stuff or anything. So I'm actually pretty chuffed with how this is going, to be honest. I hope it feels so good to actually be lifting again. If you can't tell already, we're having a loft conversion. I don't know if I mentioned it, but basically because the entrance of the loft goes through my bedroom, all the work's being done in here, and I basically don't have anywhere to stay. So I'm currently staying at Jack's. Obviously because I can't sleep in here or whatever, but there's just a lot going on at the minute, and I feel like making videos and with everything else that's going on, like going self-employed and stuff like that, there's a lot to think of, there's a lot going on, and I can't really commit to anything just yet. Like running's completely gone out the window, I've got no motivation to do that. I've not got the home gym like at hand and stuff, and yeah, things are just very, very messy at the minute. So I kind of just wanted to show you what is going on and why I'm not trying to make excuses. I do actually have a valuable reason as to why I don't want to actually exercise or anything, but yeah. I've also realised I slag off running or I slag off heart rate training quite a lot in these videos, and it's not that I've got anything against it, I just don't have the headspace or the mindset to currently do it. And I understand why people do it, and I understand why I started to do it, but I just currently don't have any motivation to run. I don't want to run, and a big thing for me is exercise and stuff should make you happy. You should be doing the things that you want to do. Just the wind. And at the minute, running isn't bringing me any happiness, and to be honest, I've neglected quite a lot over the past week. I've not really been doing anything other than just kind of working on the business, working on marketing, and just trying to get my feet, just trying to get everything moving, and that kind of means more to me at the minute than anything else. But I am missing exercise. I am missing not being out of breath when I walk up the stairs, and yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. It's just mental health and stuff like that. Like, it gets to people, and the first lockdown, it didn't affect me that much, but this lockdown, it's definitely affected my mental health, and looking after myself, like, internally, and my headspace and everything is kind of what I'm currently working on. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I kind of realised that the past few videos have been a little bit messy. I don't mean them to be. I don't know, it's just kind of it's a good representation of what my life is currently like at the minute. So if you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new, please subscribe because I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.